Eleanor's legal battles might finally be over. It took 2 decades in court, but the U.S. Court of Appeals just made a final decision about whether the iconic Mustang from Gone in 60 Seconds is protected by copyright, and the answer is just a simple no. If you're not familiar, this has been a long, ugly fight between the person that owns the rights to Gone in 60 Seconds and the Shelby Group, who have been trying to build licensed replicas of Eleanor, the custom 67 Mustang fastback from the movie. At the heart of all of this is one question: is this car actually a character or just a prop? And according to the court, Eleanor is not unique enough to be considered a character, which means it is not protected by copyright. In the court's words, quote, "Nothing distinguishes Eleanor from any number of sports cars appearing in car-centric action films." Well, I think that the net has been cast a little bit too far here, even going after YouTubers trying to build a replica car. I'm not sure that I totally agree with that statement. I mean, I've seen Gone in 60 Seconds plenty of times, and I can't name a single character, honestly. But who doesn't instantly know Eleanor? So anyways, how'd they figure all this out? There's literally a test designed to figure out these kind of things. It's called the towel test, and Eleanor failed with flying colors. The 3 arms of this test decide whether the fictional vehicle can be considered a character. And number 1, the car has to show some sort of autonomy, doing things on its own. Number 2, it has to stay consistent across versions. And number 3, it has to be uniquely distinctive. Eleanor failed all 3. It doesn't act on its own. The car changes between the original and the remake, and at the end of the day, it's still just a modified Mustang. Even if it was built by the legendary Chip Foose, the court didn't see the car as distinctive enough, and if you're comparing it against something like, say, the Batmobile, I guess that could be a reasonable take. Speaking of the Batmobile, it kind of set precedent back in 2015 with a similar case that had the opposite result. That one was about Batmobile replicas, and the court ruled in favor of copyright because the Batmobile had consistent traits, a defined look, and a sense of autonomy. The thing drove around by itself and helped Batman out all the time. So if Eleanor was a self-driving EV that saved the day without a driver, it would be disgusting, but maybe the outcome of this particular case would be different. And while this does feel like a win for replica builders and people have been scared to even post about their custom builds, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets dragged back into court again, because that's kind of how it works, right? That's the wild part about the legal system. Even when you lose, you can just keep fighting and spending more money. And after 20 years of high-powered legal teams going back and forth, I honestly wonder how valuable this IP can even be at this point with the massive cost. So, what do you think? Should Eleanor have been protected under copyright, or should people be free to build their own?